GM, everyone. Welcome back to another GC Crypto episode. GM2 Craig, and obviously we've got a fantastic guest today, guys. We've got Choose Rich Nick all the way from America tuning in with us. So massive shout out to Nick for joining us today, mate. How are you going over that side of the world?
Going great. It's pretty hot, but otherwise pretty good.
You look a bit steamy, mate. Not gonna lie. What temp? I mean, you guys are in Fahrenheit, so we won't even be able to.
I think it's just the light coming through right now.
Yeah, fair.
But and I can't turn that off. I mean, I guess no, I can't turn that off. That's just the way that the sun operates.
You're in Miami now, is that right? You've moved.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we can talk about that later, maybe. But Craig, GM2 legend, how are you going, mate?
Mate, I'm good. Happy Friday, happy Thursday evening. Thank you, Nick, for jumping on. Long-time fan, long-time viewer. Good to chat to you, brother. Living La Vida Loca in Miami. Nick's with us, Big Rich Nick. Take it away, Greenie. Let's go.
Apparently Eli's talking smack in my chat already.
37 degrees, by the way.
Okay, thank you. Okay, that's what you're doing. I'm grateful you gave it 37. That's actually pretty hot. Like that's a warm summer day for us too. So yeah, fair, very fair. Nick, mate, for those that don't know you, obviously you've been around the space for a while. I suppose most people should know you, really, in theory, is sort of the portrayal that you've taken over the past couple of years. But obviously you've been around the space for a long time. You've been in the tech era for a very long time as well. Probably one of the most sort of transitioned people from early Facebook days to obviously crypto days more natively now. Tell us a little bit about your story in general. Start from obviously the beginning, but then obviously like talk to us specifically about crypto at the end as well, please.
Well, I was born in Washington, D.C.
Mother and father. Yeah, tell us, Nick.
My dad was a surgeon, mother a lawyer.
Ooh.
I grew up in DC area. Yeah, I am a self-taught software engineer.
Very good.
And I got into media publishing. And that was while I was working as what was called an open source developer at that time, which was someone basically just coding PHP, like WordPress sites, other things like that. Yeah. So I basically built that out, or kept doing my like developer career, and then built out this blog thing, and it turned into a business. And I ended up selling that to a company in New York, and moved to San Francisco, and then just continued to sort of grow as an entrepreneur, and eventually I ended up in New York. And I had been in well, actually before that, I'd gotten into crypto in 2013. And so I bought Bitcoin. Well, I actually was familiar with Bitcoin when it was in the pennies. I had installed Bitcoin on my desktop computer when it first came out. And I had I was like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of my assessment at that point in time. And after that, and when I was living in San Francisco, Bitcoin had started to grow, had gotten to like $100, and I bought some Bitcoin then. And I was also working at a random co-working place where a guy was trading next to me while I was like coding. And I was like, what are you doing? And he was like, well, I'm trading. And I'm like, but what are you trading? He's like, Ethereum. And I was like, well, what is Ethereum? And he told me, and I was like, oh, so it's like Bitcoin, but if Bitcoin was a developer platform.
Yeah.
And he was like, yup. And I was like, so that's really interesting.
Yeah. See, you analyze that so early. Like a lot of people would have faded that, like the internet of blockchain, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what I had seen was I was writing the company I had sold, the content I was doing was covering the rise of Facebook. And so what enabled them to grow the most was their development platform.
Yeah.
And so I just saw the same thing. Was like, okay, well, that makes sense. So I bought it at $8. I sold it at 11, and that was a huge gain.
Yeah.
I bought my Bitcoin at 100, sold it at like 125, and was like, you're a fucking genius.
Yeah.
And then I had traded like different like shit coins during the ICO years. And so, and I'd made a YouTube channel, and on Facebook, I had a large following on Facebook because I had like interviewed Mark Zuckerberg and some of these other people, Sheryl Sandberg and all these other individuals. And when you signed up for Facebook, I was recommended.
Oh, hectic. Yeah.
On the when you registered. And so I was getting like this big following, and kind of like it was like international. So it was like all over the map. I don't know how important that was, but people would see the number and be like, wow, that's crazy, dude.
So what period of time is this? What year is this around?
I'd sold my blog, I would say around 2013, I bought crypto. Around that, when was the ICO craze? 2017?
2017, yeah.
Yeah, so around that, between 2016, 2017, I basically, like, I'd stepped away from crypto. I wasn't really doing much. I was like, cool, this thing's interesting. I had a buddy who actually is an investor in us, who had raised money through his own ICO in around that time, and 2017. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. He raised like $45 million and left the country. And I just thought that was nuts. I didn't do anything with that. I thought all the ICO stuff was mostly a scam, because it was. And I thought it was hilarious. And I started making these videos on Facebook, which was like news videos, where I was basically trying to do like a dry version of The Daily Show or something like that. And it did okay on Facebook. On YouTube, I got like thousands of viewers or something like that. It wasn't like some huge hit. But it was interesting, and I was paying attention to crypto. Then in 2021, I was working at a fintech company, and I saw this NFT thing coming back. So I went like whole hog. I was like, okay, this time I'm going to like not question it, just do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. No, it's incredible, like hearing different people's journeys to crypto. And it's like everyone really starts with the same sort of misunderstanding of BTC and Ethereum. You could easily say, like, a lot of people go, like, I was the same. I was like, oh yeah, no, I'll just take profit here, or I'll round trip this, like whatever it is. But then you realize, as you spend more time in the space, you're like, oh shit, no, this is actually the potential, right? Like the future of tech, the future of finance, whatever we want to dive into. So talk to me about how you obviously reached out to PO and then started the whole Bodoggos and obviously the Nifty portal and Easy and all that sort of stuff. Because we've had all the boys on the show. We've had Clemente, we've had PO, we've had Kicks, and we've had Easy. So we're doing the whole round table. Talk to us a little bit about your perspective from that POV.
Well, I was introduced by Kicks to PO, and he initially, I was getting introduced to a bunch of creators at that time. All I was doing was a podcast. That's where I thought I would start. It's easy to get people onto it's easiest to get people on a podcast.
Yeah.
And I think that it's one of the best ways to basically learn from other people. And so I had a bunch of people on the NFT Nick show, or Nifty Nick show. And I was like, look, I'm just going to keep doing this and we'll see what happens. And then I built this website, The Nifty, which was like data analytics around NFTs.
Yeah.
And then I was like, man, this is a weird space to be in, because basically if you really want to do it, you have to do it at the enterprise level. And I don't know that I want to go build an enterprise analytics company. And so, well, I'd been introduced to PO. I'd gotten introduced to a number of creators, but most of the people that I'd get introduced to would be like, oh, I want to do like the YouTube version of your show, or like, let's do something around that. And they'd send me their YouTube, and I'd be like, oh, you have like 5 videos on this channel. Like stick at it. And then like, let's stay in touch.
Yeah.
And PO was doing this podcast all the time about NFTs.
Yeah.
And so he just had, I was like, this guy's consistent.
Yeah.
And to me, showing up on a consistent basis is like the most important thing.
100%.
Having a work ethic is important. And so that's my biggest indicator of anything. We had some conversations, and eventually I was like, dude, why don't we just do something together? And then I raised some money, and PO joined, and or as co-founder, and we went from there. We started hosting like X Spaces and some other stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, cool. No, I think I've followed you for since you really began from memory is how early I discovered you guys. Craig, over to you, mate.
Yeah, I've got a ton of things to say. We took us on a big journey there. I remember listening to Nick and PO back in I think it was when I first, or close to when I first got into crypto in 21. And whenever I'd be driving around in the car, whatever, I'd have you guys on and be listening to you guys and listening to you guys talk about NFTs. Were predominantly back then huge. In fact, I think it was all NFTs back then. So I guess I wanted to ask, because I do want to go back to that, because that was a really fun time. What sort of sparked in your mind? So you spoke about you had been introduced to Ethereum, and it kind of clicked to you how it could be the software of the internet. What then took you from, say, did you invest in crypto? Then did you start getting into Bitcoin and Ethereum around that time? And then what clicked in your mind for NFTs to go, hang on a sec, there's crypto over here, but there's NFTs over here. I think this could be massive, because you guys were pretty early, man. Like, you guys were one of the earliest that I remember as far as what I'd call mainstream that you could access for new people like me. Because when I came in Feb 21, I was just hungry for people that were talking about that sort of information. And there weren't a lot of people like you guys doing what I'd call a professional show, or sounded like they even knew what they were talking about. So I guess what I'm asking is, did you invest in Ethereum, Bitcoin early? And then what was it that took you to NFTs? What about them sort of intrigued you?
I mentioned when I bought Bitcoin and Ethereum, but I sold it immediately.
Sorry, yeah.
And then I didn't really do much with it. I had invested in some other things, but I was not particularly good at investing initially. What I was really good at was identifying trends.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even say that I'm the first to things. I'm the second to things, basically. And so, and if something really is pissing me off, where I'm like, this makes no sense, this is so fucking stupid, like if I'm like pissed off about a trend initially, that's probably a good indicator that like there may be something interesting there. I just learned how to do long-term investing effectively in the past few years, and I'm 43 now. And when I say long-term, like, I bought Bored Apes when they were like $400, for example, or $450, and then I bought it again at like $1,300, and then just held it for an extended period of time. And I think like that was like my first time with holding something that like had gone up substantially. And I think I just like, I don't know, I've started to like have more like, I've known that I've been good at identifying these trends. I just didn't invest alongside it. For example, I could have invested in Facebook in the private market, and I'd sold my company, and I was like, maybe I should put $500,000 just into Facebook. That would have been, that would have like changed my life. Had I put 100,000 into Bitcoin, that would have changed my life. Had I put 30,000 into ETH at $8. So I bought like over 3,000 ETH. So like I could have just like held on to that. But I didn't understand, like I was always looking for some quick sort of thing, because I built a publishing business and I sold it within a year and a half. And so maybe 2 years max. And I think just from that standpoint, I had this like bad behavior trained around money management, around all sorts of like investing. My investing was trading. I would go find stocks, I would trade them, and I had success with trading stocks. It wasn't like I was doing poorly with it, especially in a bull market. Like yesterday, I made a ton of money on, or no, 2 days ago, I made a ton of money as ETH was breaking all-time highs. Then I made okay money yesterday before making a video of buying for $500,000 of Bitcoin.
I was gonna ask you about that.
That was like, I did that as entertainment, but I also was like, if this actually breaks out, I want to hold this. I went to sleep up and was like, dude, I shouldn't go to sleep like this. I'm like, this is a dangerous sleep here. But I should have at least had a stop loss or something like that. But anyways, I didn't have any, like, I was good at having some degree of vision about the future of different and identifying trends and seeing how things were happening. That's about it. Like, there wasn't some like genius investment that I made, and the majority of my money now has been, it was the Bored Apes, and then it's been just buying and holding Solana was was the main thing. And I now own a bunch of Bitcoin as well. And I put my, like, when the ETFs came out, I put a bunch of my 401k rollover into that. And so, I've just continued to slowly stack. And the lesson is really earn money and invest it.
Yeah, it's just similar. It reminds me, my brother-in-law is an entrepreneur, very different to me. I sort of had to learn how to be one, or try to be one. And he reminds me a little bit of you, where he builds things and then sells, startups basically. So maybe that was the mindset you were in, whereby it's a 1 to 3 year period. He builds up a business, gets rid of the business for a decent profit, onto the next. And he's always every 3 years building the next thing, which is kind of the exciting part for him. So he's kind of similar in that he's kind of the same as you. He was trading Bitcoin early, but always just taking those quick trades or scalps versus just holding, like probably we all should have done. But Greenie, over to you, brother.
Well, so like obviously, you'd say the Bored Ape Yacht Clubs and Solana are probably your two better trades. I want to talk about one of your worst trades. So what comes to mind as something that you really messed up with or regret potentially doing, whether it's more recently or something in the past?
There's actual losses, and then there's missed gains. Those are the two things that you end up having. There's a trading book I've been listening to about, like, the psychology of trading, which is pretty good. And the guy talks about, like, the different outcomes you can have. I think there's only like 4 outcomes, or maybe it's 6. I don't know. But basically, where, like, you go into a trade or you don't go into a trade is one option. So you don't go into a trade, it goes the direction that you expected. You don't go into a trade and it goes against the way that you expected. There's going into the trade, and then once you're in the trade, it going against you and what you do, and then it going in your direction and what do you do. And so what this guy in his case was saying, when the trade's going your way, that actually it's usually better to buy then. And when the trade is going against you, you should be selling it. Like, you should be selling out of it. Now, this is this guy's own philosophy, whatever. Like, everyone has their own approach. And I don't think there's one single way of trading. But, like, there's all sorts of bad investments. Bad investments where I bought I invested in a business. And sorry, the lights are going down, but I'm afraid that the camera is going to get messed up if I touch this too much. Okay. We did it and it was okay. So I invested in a wooden model ship business, $30,000, and lost it. That didn't work out. I lent somebody money and they never paid me back. Although eventually they actually did, interestingly enough. All my loans have come back. But I've invested in angel invested in startups, and all those failed, especially in the crypto space. If you invest in an angel deal, most of the fails. Your main goal is to get a token. I'm trying to think what other things would be.
Well, a lot of people say you punk. Do you regret selling your punk even more recently this cycle?
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Why did
I
you sell
mean,
it?
dude, out of fear.
Yeah.
But I was also up, $35,000 or $40,000. So I mean, it's not like,
Yeah.
I was like devastated.
No.
Whatever. Maybe I'll buy it back at some point. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, you bought it in the middle of the bear cycle, right? Wasn't it, from memory, a couple years ago?
Yeah, as FTX was imploding and everything else, that's when I bought it, and then then it went up, and then it came down, and I was like, okay, whatever. Like, I'm just gonna get rid of it. And I thought what I would do is hold ETH. It looks like I got rid of the ETH, and then I ended up getting Solana, but whatever. There were like that movement of stuff was bad. It was basically like, when things aren't going well, that's not a good idea. Recently I've been messing with perps, and the two things that have caused actual losses have been overtrading. Actually, overtrading has been like the single greatest thing.
Literally. Yeah.
And trading the 5-minute chart. And like, I mean, right now, like, the general thing is like, I would just be buying is probably the right thing to be doing, but I'm trying to like swing trade a short move. And it's just like, you don't know that the market is going to, like, if like today, there was a ton of volatility at the open, and then there was no volatility the rest of the day. So as things were moving, it could move against you. And as you're getting in and getting out of trades, you're just losing money the entire time, basically. And so, yeah, the lack of volatility is frankly the worst part of like when you're trading. And so you got to just have like some practice for what that is. And frankly, I think the breakout thing, that Bitcoin trade could have very well have yielded positive results, basically.
Sure. Yeah.
And having a stop loss on it would have been like sufficient. And I think that same breakout will occur again.
Yeah, it
and
will.
I will end up making money on that breakout, basically. Like, it's not like a lot of those breakouts, the breakout on ETH took 4 times before it like broke out. So, okay, the 4th time when you bought it, it literally made you a ton of money, like, as a result of it. So as long as you cut your losses at like $1,000 each time, or a couple $1,000, and then you go make $35,000 on the 4th one.
Yeah,
it's not bad.
No, and I think that's like, you're saying what I say to people every day. Like, I deal with thousands of people in this space around trading, and literally the biggest mistake that people have is they overtrade. Like, if you can become patient, and like, this is my 9th year, heading into my 10th year of trading. Like, once you become patient, wait for price to get to you, understand high time frame analysis / bias, and then apply that to low time. That's how you execute. And you know that, like, accepting that you're going to lose. I think that's a big one as well. Like, no trader wins 100%. Accepting that you lose a portion of the time. That's how you succeed over time. Where are we in the crypto cycle, in your opinion?
Great question.
Dude, I look at what people say. I look at the made up vibe that I've come up with at some point in time, where I think my target's been mid next year for me to sell a bunch of my portfolio. And frankly, the pullback today was fantastic for, like, I don't know, all of the huge pumps have been followed by these pullbacks, which have been great. It's been really like a conservative, like, growth cycle.
Yeah.
The majority of my portfolio is not traded, by the way. I just have holdings in Bitcoin and Solana and stuff like that. I'm not trading. I have a target price on that. That's it. And so in terms of this cycle, I don't know, sometimes mid next year, you don't know if there's some black swan event that's going to come or something like that, which is really the thing that would ultimately devastate your portfolio and make you depressed. And I think that, but as long as you're making money, you can go reinvest, and you can buy the dip on any of those black swan events. As long as we're alive. I mean, like, that's like the main thing. So I don't know. I would say we are halfway through it. but I don't know if anybody knows, but all I can say is that we have the most bullish environment that has ever existed for crypto. And the fact that like the majority of society is not like just crowding this trade right now, to me is honestly insane. Like it makes
I
no
couldn't agree
sense.
more. Yeah.
So that gets me bullish hearing that, Nick. Very, very bullish.
I bought more BTC in that, like, because I saw you and I saw another person on Instagram buy a shit ton of BTC at 123,000. I was like, oh, I don't know about that. And then I went to bed last night. It was 10 p.m. and I get a notification. Oh, BTC's dumped to 117. I just went straight to my exchange and went, yeah, I'll plow 10 grand straight into it. Thank you very much. So yeah, I've really changed my thesis too, because like everyone knows, like I'm a very proactive take profit trader, but I've slowly come around after like obviously talking to many people on the show, particularly particularly people like yourself as well. Like BTC maybe is just I need to zoom the fuck out and realize this is a 5, 10, 15, 20 year play. And I'll create way more wealth that way than trying to probably swing trade. Even though I'm a very good swing trader, I just think allocating a portion of your portfolio to buy, hold is probably the secret that a lot of people should just employ, and they don't. I want to talk NFTs as well. You bought a Moonbird, one, or maybe you bought a couple. I have 3. I've bought between sort of 1.8 and 2.4. We had Spencer on the show on Friday last week. I would arguably say he's probably one of the top 3 founders of NFT projects out there, just purely from a sense of understanding that specific ecosystem. Why did you buy Moonbird, and what's your take on NFTs in crypto right now?
I think Spencer will eventually drop a token, and that's the most. That's what pumps NFTs the most, and so I think we could see this at 5 ETH.
Yeah.
I think, and maybe even more. I have no idea, depending on how the NFT market happens. The NFT market is still incredibly niche.
Yeah.
And but I think that there will be an actual institutional bid on NFTs.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think that it's a very interesting space. I still like the technology, and yeah, I think that there's a ton of potential for NFTs in general.
Craig?
Are you trading NFTs quite actively now, Nick, or is it predominantly crypto, predominantly Bitcoin and the big caps?
I do not trade NFTs. I trade Memecoins some, but Memecoins to me is an inside information game, basically. And so when I get tips, I buy. Like that's it, basically. And oftentimes they're bad and I just lose money. And so I have a minimal amount. Well, I swapped my MOG into the Moonbird, basically. So we'll see whether or not that pans out.
Yeah.
And I was up to, I have maybe, I probably have 50, 60, maybe $70,000 worth of meme coins. And so I'm moving that portfolio around, and sometimes I make money. It goes up, it goes down. I'm not great with the meme coin thing unless you get like really all-time lows in a breakout, which I've seen. I just look at what Greeny charts, honestly, because he's had some really good ones. And then I think I check out. I much prefer, now that I had not used Hyperliquid, and the fact that perps are there, I'm just like, this is fucking fun. Like this is really good. It's completely gambling. But I mean, not completely. I've been doing technical analysis for a long time now, and I'm like, okay, there's some truth to the matter. And I've accurately called things multiple times looking at my charts, and I'm like, okay, put your money where your mouth is and see if you can actually trade against it. I don't have a ton on there. I have like 50 or 60 grand that's on Hyperliquid, and I trade that with leverage, usually not with drawing down more than 30,000 of my holdings. And I'm hoping that thing can go up to 100, 200 grand or something like that. That'd be sick. I have no idea if I'm going to be able to pull that off, but we'll see. I mean, on the swings up, it's key. I end up just as soon as I take my profit, I had take profit on ETH at the literal point that it top. I was like, here's where it's gonna see resistance. It saw resistance. I had my auto take profit hit, and then I bought back in. And it's like, dude, listen to your fucking gut on this stuff, because it was just fear at that point where I'm like, dude, I got my back itcher out here.
No, good. Homer Simpson. Hey, the butt scratchers.
Dude, it's pretty good, this thing. So I basically had like fear that the market's going to move away from me, basically, but like you can't be operating from that standpoint. And so what happens is that all of the trades that have won is I've had a setup. It had the breakout. I did my buy. It had continuation, and I hit my take profit basically at the next resistance level or slightly beneath. And it's worked out flawlessly.
That's the key as well. If you're trading leverage and you understand order books and stuff like that, and key levels or Fibonacci levels, you want to front run that every time. You always do. Okay. Let's talk more specifically then. What altcoins are you very bullish on in the short term or the long term right now?
Man, it's not a lot. It's basically, I look at Hyperliquid. Easy's big on Chainlink right now, so I've been messing with that. Solana is technically an altcoin. Ethereum's technically an altcoin. I am. Did I say Hyperliquid?
Yes.
And then maybe like Pump Fund.
Yeah. What's your thesis on Pump Fund?
I don't have one. Like those guys can't. The thesis is those guys will figure out at least one more pump.
Yeah. Okay.
Were you in the pre-sale, Nick? Did you get in?
I didn't want to.
Nah.
Oh, hold on one second. Someone's at my door. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
that's all right.
Could be the tax department. We heard about that profit you made on that ape.
Yeah, it's a security risk. Someone's watching the stream has identified where I am, and
no, I love it. Okay, so where do you think crypto? Like you said before, that this is the most bullish time in history. I literally have been saying that for a very long time. I couldn't agree more. Like it's still so early when you think about what percentage of the world really owns crypto. When you like visit countries outside of America that aren't as pro crypto as America, you're still so early. We spoke to PO in depth about why Bitcoin is just still so early, right? When you think about it from a non-Western perspective, mainly, and obviously the US dollar and co eventually going to zero. Where's crypto going to be in 10 years' time? Now, obviously, a lot of people are like, oh, I hope my altcoin's still around in 10 years' time, or I hope my Memecoin's up in a year's time. Let's step that back. Like, let's think macro sort of perspective more so with this. Like, where's BTC? Where's ETH? Where's the industry going to be? Is it going to be $50 trillion in 10 years' time? What's your take away? Because I know you're well connected. I know you're a smart man. You've interviewed, as you said before, Zuckerberg and co. So you would be able to implore that sort of knowledge into sort of maybe fundamentally understanding, well, where could this industry go in the next 10 years, 20 years?
First of all, I have no idea. But secondarily, let me tell you. There's a couple of key things that I would look at. The first is stable coins. That's where a lot of the activity is taking place right now, which is essentially rebuilding the existing financial infrastructure on blockchain. Why? I mean, who knows? Like there's because it saves fees arbitrarily. Like literally the banks could just lower the price. It's not like it costs all that much to do these transactions. There's just middlemen taking fees involved in all this. And the same middlemen are the same people that are involved in building the new system.
Yeah.
So do I think that it's suddenly going to be like groundbreaking? I think here's the thing where there's a difference. Someone like Robinhood, for example, some of these other infrastructures and some of these companies that are upstarts have the ability to basically actually disrupt the financial system by going around it.
Yeah.
And so that's where right now you may view Coinbase and Robinhood as competitive, because I think they are inherently competitive, but they're competing in a space where they should be aligned, because they should be building the infrastructure outside of the institutions, because the banks need to have their hands in things and want to be middlemen.
Yeah.
And so I don't know that's not a great thing. The fact that self-custody was written into this stablecoin bill, though, is very interesting. And the fact that that's going to be a requirement is very cool.
Yeah.
So that's a bullish thing. And I think a lot of stuff is going to happen in the next 12 to 18 months on the stablecoin front. I think Ethereum will get bought a lot just as a result of that.
Yeah.
And I think Bitcoin will get bought as a result. When it comes to a lot of these other things, the real reason that it was designed was to bring transparency. I think there's multiple different reasons you could come up with for why this existed. But it was, obviously you could say, well, it was to counter the financial crisis that happened, saying, hey, we should be decentralized and independent from this. But that could have been just like a narrative used to drive adoption of this token, basically. And it was a great time to do it. So I think that I think that those narratives make sense. I think that decentralization and the transparency that comes from on-chain activity can actually be transformative for voting systems and things like that. I think the government should be required to do those sorts of things. But I'm somewhat skeptical, because the reality is the government in many ways has been designed over time or corrupted in a way that it benefits the people in power and the people that they're connected with. So there's not a lot of incentives to be supportive of the things that the people want. Instead, it's better to sell them something else, which is kind of what Trump has done a great job of. And he's like, well, let me just close deals, like his deal with NVIDIA and all this other stuff, where it's like, what exactly is taking place there? Like, that's such a weird thing. So that's why I say I have no idea, because really the question is, how is the government going to adopt this, and how are institutions going to adopt this? And it's very much at risk of being co-opted by the institutions into something which is a weird Frankenstein parallel of the traditional financial system as it exists today. And so that's where I'm just like, I'm not this just ultimate optimist that, yes, this is definitively going to be the adopted system. That said, all these institutions are racing to do it as quickly as possible, because they want to be competitive and they want to get the fees out of the stable coins. And that creates a completely different model. So in some ways, there are pressures driving them towards some of this transparency, people having their own wallets, all sorts of things, decreasing fees. There's a lot of forces driving that, but I have no idea where we're going to end up 10, 15 years from now when it comes to adoption, because there are a lot of powers competing against each other. And historically, the decentralized, pro-privacy, user,
sovereignty and self-sovereignty.
It's never worked. It's literally never worked, basically. And most people don't give a shit. And most people that do give a shit, oftentimes historically, have been kind of weirdos. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens.
Fair.
It could almost be. I agree with Nick in the way that it could almost be a bit of a Trojan horse wrapped up in decentralization and transparency, but really, the banks and that are just reestablishing themselves and packaging themselves in a more palatable manner, because we're all sick of them since 2008, 2009. I wanted to ask Nick, and this is just because of his location, since Trump has got in, and I won't get political because it's just always a stupid chat, but have things there really changed for the better? I mean, you guys work there, you've got businesses in America, in the States. Have you found that since him coming in, and certainly with the media giving us information we get here in Australia, he is more pro crypto and wanting to move forward? Are you finding that is the case where you are and doors are opening and you can move forward confidently, or are you still, is it still very not sure where to go or how to move? Has there been a real change, or is it just media?
Trump's been good for crypto.
Mm-hmm.
There's been other beneficial things for our organization. I'm giving a limited view of what is, like, if someone, like, this isn't an exact same comparison, but I'm going to give an extreme version of it just because of this is not representative of how I fully feel, but I feel like it exists in some moderate level.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Putin has friends that he turned into billionaires by taking over businesses and turning them into government entities, which were really actually just run by his friends, and all of them became billionaires. A lot of those people went and stashed their money in other countries because they don't trust that they won't be killed if they try to leave Russia. Basically, they have to give the talking points of Russia as long as they exist, and they need to maintain residence mostly in Russia. They can try and travel, but traveling is actually a tough thing as well due to the whole Ukraine situation.
Mm-hmm.
But he made a lot of people very rich. And so if you're one of those people, you're really benefiting heavily.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you say, how are things going?
Mm-hmm.
I've benefited greatly from a lot of Trump's policies.
Mm-hmm.
I also think that there's an increased chance that I die at some point from some health circumstance because we decided to disrupt our entire healthcare system for it's not to say it was a great system to begin with. I don't like our form of healthcare completely, but you could argue that socialized healthcare sucks ass also. Like if you go to any of the countries that have it, there's all sorts of problems. Everybody has problems. And so I don't have some like strong position on how to solve any of these different things, but I've been the beneficiary of multiple things from Trump's policies. One has been his crypto policy, and two has been his quote big beautiful bill, which was honestly probably a bunch of fucking garbage as far as I'm concerned, but I've benefited because we're going to get to write off all of our quote R&D expenses basically in the year that we have it, and that was costing us substantially. We ate a serious loss, like cash wise. We had to pay up something like $50,000 or $100,000 like a year or two ago because of the weird shift in the way that R&D taxes were handled by small businesses, and large corporations alike. So there's ways that I've benefited substantially, and I think there's ways that I'm not going to benefit as well. So I don't know, but it's been very bullish for crypto, and the team that he's put in place has done a great job of advocating for crypto. Yeah, I mean, it's been phenomenal from that standpoint.
Yeah, cool, perfect. Greeny,
what's your take on Abstract, Nick? I've got a lot of people live on Abstract with me right now. Is this something you're fading just because? Well, I don't want to put words in your mouth. So, what's your take on Abstract?
Something you're fading because. So you did put words in my mouth. You accused me of fading Abstract.
Nick's got fat bags, Greeny. He's just not disclosing.
Yeah, maybe it's anonymous. Fair play.
No, it means that I'm fading it if I don't have substantial bags in it, which to me is a ridiculous claim. I just don't have time.
Yeah.
It's honestly as simple as that. You're way better in life focusing on a subset of things. Dude, I could add potentially $1 million to $2 million in additional revenue to my business this year.
Yeah.
Or I can go fuck around on Abstract.
Very fair.
So which am I going to do?
Come to Abstract, brother.
Obviously the latter.
I know a lot of people that have made substantial money by investing in some of the abstract meme coins, honestly, and I feel a little bit of FOMO as a result of that. So yeah, I know people that have made hundreds of thousands of dollars. I've seen it in their wallet. There's not enough liquidity for them to sell it. But
yeah, Eli's not going to sell that. I know he's not going to sell that. So.
Why are you calling out people for? Why do you know that that's?
Because
why do you know?
We stream with him every week, so we're mates, and he's talking shit in my chat anyway, so it's all good.
I'm just saying, like, I mean, they're doing a great job of building buzz around their blockchain, better than a lot of blockchains, as far as I'm concerned. And it's interesting to see the role that streaming is playing in particular in all of it, and it's simultaneously confusing. It's interesting and confusing at the same time. Like Pump Fun's trying to do that as well. I'm not like, I'm like, is Pump Fun? It's basically, is streaming, and it's like, is chat a feature or is chat a platform? Is streaming a feature or is streaming a platform? And that's something that I'm interested in seeing how that evolves, basically, because we're all playing with the same infrastructure on the tech side. Like I can go use AWS to launch a video hosting company and compete with Google. I'm not going to be able to get at their cost because it's Google, like they're able to subsidize the shit out of it, basically, but they also are making a ton of money off of it. So I don't, and they have like, I don't know. It's fascinating to observe. They'll be viewed as a case study.
Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah. What about base?
Well, hold on real quick. What do you get out of streaming on Abstract?
Well, honestly, probably not a lot of XP, but I know that Luca has come out recently and said people who have been streaming on the platform for consistently a long period of time, which Craig and I have, will be very benefited later this year. So who knows what that actually looks like in terms of things. I was on Tyler D, Mando Farouk show recently, and I think if you're a smaller creator, going to Abstract makes sense, right? Because there's less competition and it's a way to sort of build as they're building if it continues to go well, which I do think it will. And then obviously if you stream, then you get tips, you get other things like that as well. So like it's not, and I think the platform's gonna have a massive reform, rumored to be soon. So I think the whole streaming will change to your traditional model of like donations, subs, hype train, all that sort of stuff, right? Whereas right now you can just tip me in meme coins on or Ethereum on Abstract platform. So that's really the streaming aspect of Abstract as a portal entirely.
I'm interested to see what they're doing. Look, the reality is if Luca makes people rich again, and then it's just like the guy keeps, hitting home runs. I mean, shout out to him and shout out to Abstract and Pudgy. I still own my little Pudgies.
I was going to ask, do you own any Pudgies or anything? Yeah.
Yeah, I have 3 little Pudgies basically, and those went down and they're now moving back up. I think they're at like 2 ETH.
Yeah.
So I actually have interestingly enough, like a fairly substantial NFT bag basically. I still have a mutant ape. I have now I have a moonbird. I have 3 little Pudgies. I have what else do I have? I have a moonbird mythic.
Yep.
I have a captain's.
Oh yeah.
Which I held all the way down. I have a bunch of our portals.
Do you have a V1 punk, Nick? They're pumping.
Dude, they're pumping, man.
No, I'm so sad, dude. I should have fucking bought them. The cheapest one is like
Kix put out a post yesterday.
No, I know. I just saw it. I'm so pissed. I own a Meebit.
Oh, yeah.
I own, what else do I own that has any value whatsoever? I still have a dead fella, a dead friend. I have, there's no offers on this. 2 Max Paynes.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I have a Bitcoin punk. I have Justin Aversano art. I have a Cryptoad.
Oh yeah.
That one's actually worth half an ETH right now. Yeah, so I have a couple of like random things that are still I don't know.
Do you own ordinals?
Do I own ordinals? No. I own one from Justin Aversano, and then I have this Bitcoin Punk.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Bitcoin Puppet, Nick. I was about to congratulate you. Oh,
No.
close.
Is it pumping right now?
No, alas, no. I'm underwater, to be perfectly
They
honest.
had a little pump recently, but no.
Pump, yeah. Do you have an Ether Rock?
No.
One of them just sold hot off the press, 606,000, 135 ETH 5 minutes ago just sold. So fuck knows what's going on there, man. Man, what's happening there, Nick? Is that money laundering or what is happening there?
I have no idea. Look, people are making money in crypto and they're buying different assets like they're like V1 punks.
Absolutely.
I understand the V1 punk thing. It is quite compelling, and I saw some articles about it, or a guy being interviewed, and he was just pumping the shit out of it. I mean, yeah, I think it's interesting.
Would you buy one here?
As a collectible, yeah.
Yeah, as a collectible, yeah.
Do you remember me, Greenie, when Azuki was pumping? I was asking you about V1 punks then, and I was like, should I just sweep them? Yeah, I fucked up. I did not sweep them.
How low did they go, Craig? Let's have a look.
Low, bro. Like,
yeah, one and a bit. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I'm actually tempted to buy a V1 Punk too, just to hodl. I think just as a beta play to the others. But look, we don't want to
your Punk. I was going to buy one. Remember? And
yeah, that's right. Yeah, when I bought my Punk in April. Yeah, fair. All right, Nick. Well, we don't want to take too much of your time, but I want to ask a couple more questions about what you guys are building and everything. But the choose rich aura personality, will we ever see that man again?
I mean, I pop up periodically. It depends on which version of the personality you want to call it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But I mean, I'm on the timeline. I think Instagram is one place that I was exploring that I started really growing. And I haven't been doing that recently, but I want to bring that back. Mm-hmm. So that's something that I'm definitely interested in. So yeah.
What's your strategy for Instagram compared to Twitter?
I mean, it's two totally different things.
Yeah.
Instagram is really rewards actual great content.
Okay.
I'm fucked then. Yeah. I can never go there.
Very fair.
It's about like scripting things or coming up with stunts or like coming up with things that like make people laugh, making people feel an emotion. X is the same way if you can actually do that. I mean, that's what my video yesterday of buying $500,000 of crypto or Bitcoin was really about, was to get them to be like, oh, look at this fucking idiot, whatever it is.
Yeah. No, I love it. I love it. I love the way you go about it. I love the way that obviously Clemente and stuff goes about it as well. I think it's good to see Pio finally, get into it as well over the last couple of months. So he's been doing well as well. Talk to us about your app. Talk to us about Bodogo's plans, all those sorts of things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, we're experimenting with the app. I think we've found out a space that we're interested in doing, which we haven't yet executed on. But we've been speaking with businesses, and we've found an area that I think is going to work pretty well for us. In terms of Bodogos, we are basically brainstorming a bunch of initiatives that we can do that actually make people excited. The biggest thing that people would be excited about, if I'm being honest, would be a token.
Yeah.
That would be like the biggest thing that would get people excited.
Is that on your radar or just not really?
Is it on our radar?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on our radar.
Okay.
Fuck, I need to buy some Bodogos.
Nick, you like Bodogos were down at one sol. I'm gonna say a month and a half ago, I said to Craig live on stream, I want to sweep 10 Bodogos right now, and then chat and everyone persuaded me not to, and look at where they are today. So look at that, that identifying a trend like I like to do, but faded it. Classic. Putting your mouth where your money is.
What are they at now? What are Bodogos? What's floor on those bad boys?
Nick, do you know?
Not
3.5, something like that.
Oh, they have pulled back a little bit. Okay. Could be interested there.
It was good to see them pump, though. It's good to see Solana.
They're probably pumping right now because everyone likes to front run us on stream, Nick. So that's a classic story. Okay, well, last question I always like to ask before we obviously let you go, and thank you obviously for jumping on with us. We very much appreciate it. Do you have questions for us? A lot of the time, we always grill people. Everyone always gets interviewed, and it's always about what they're doing or what they're building or what they think is alpha. Do you have any questions for maybe a different POV for us?
For a different POV.
From a different... as in, like, for me, I like to open up questions from people that we interview because
Have you thought about exploring Buddhism?
Honestly, no, not in Australia, but we do have a lot of Buddhism. If you walk around and you go to
what does that have to do with Australia versus you?
Hey, I'm telling you, cut me off. Hey, give me a sec. And so I went and looked at a few houses recently, and a lot of them have Buddhas in there, like beside their pools. So I have no idea what that symbolizes at all. But for me, it was just a curiosity that I will obviously take to ChatGPT and stuff and have a conversation about that, because I am a little bit confused about why. So to answer your question, that is at least my exposure to Buddhism at this point in time. But so no, I'm not really interested at it unless I start to learn a little bit more about why people have them near their pools.
You can learn about Zen, and I think that that's something that actually would be valuable for trading. Would be the main thing.
Very fair.
And if there's a book, let me just really quick load up my Kindle, just see what book that I really
And what was
like.
that book you were referring to earlier? Psychology of Trading, was it?
Check out the book, The Second Book of the Tao.
Okay. Do you have a ref code for that or affiliate link next week? You can find through.
The Second Book of the Tao.
Of the
Stephen Mitchell.
All right.
Okay.
I believe the correct way to say that would be Tao or something like that. Hold on one second.
Is it by Tao Te Ching? I think it's. Oh no, Mitchell's.
Yes, that's the original source. Yeah.
Okay.
For example, the ancient masters looked ordinary, but their wisdom was profound. Ooh. They didn't deviate from the truth. The clever couldn't persuade them. The beautiful couldn't seduce them. The rich couldn't corrupt them. They considered life and death to be insignificant matters. I'm almost done. Stand by. Unhindered, their minds could soar to the edges of the unknown, beyond time and space, and plunge past the beginning and the end. They could take the most menial positions and find contentment in their work. Their virtue filled earth and heaven. The more they gave to themselves, the more they could give to others. The more they gave to others, the more they had for themselves. Like, that's just one chapter of many chapters.
That's beautiful.
Just a different perspective, isn't it?
Are you practicing, Nick? Are you exploring?
No, not at all.
No, yeah. God,
it's a good book.
Yeah, it's a good read at night.
All right, so back to my original question. Do you have any questions for us?
That was the question. Thought about Buddhism. I don't have what. I got to eat dinner. Honestly, I get heartburn if I'm eating too late. It's currently late, basically. I haven't eaten
appreciate
dinner.
Nick.
This is Theo again, eh? Where his dinner got cold.
You both are the bloody same person. Anyways, Nick, thanks so much for jumping on, mate. We very much appreciate your time. And chat, I hope you enjoyed that conversation with Nick as well.
Thanks for having me on. Appreciate
Nick,
it.
Brilliant last question as well, brother. That was absolutely phenomenal. That was I was not prepared for that, so thank you very much.
Okay. I mean, it's a stupid question, but all right.
Thank you, brother.
Explore Buddhism.
All right.
Have a good one.
You too, mate. See you later.
Big love.
All right, well, we'll keep going for a little bit longer, but we won't go for too long, chat. But yeah, massive shout out to Nick for jumping on. Incredibly well-connected guy, incredibly smart guy, has seen generational change of tech, of investing as he explored as well. So if you haven't had a chance to watch this back, you can go to our Kick page, which is live now as well at GC Crypto on Kick. You can watch all the replays there. You can go to our GC Crypto TV page over on X and watch any of the replays there, or you can go to our personal YouTube channels and they'll have all of the replays, all the interviews that we've had with other people as well on those channels as well, Craig. Before we talk about what we just discussed with Nick, little plug, obviously, guys, is our sponsor and our partnership with OKX Australia. Massive shout out to them for partnering with GC Crypto. Very good, as Craig has on today. He's got the merch, which is sick. I wore the white shirt yesterday. It's kind of like a yellow shirt, I suppose, yesterday. So massive shout out to them. Very reliable, easy platform to use, guys, to onboard any crypto or on obviously any fiat. If you're keen to sign up, the link is in the description below. And you can join us on that platform. And if you have any questions, we'll be more than happy to help you out. And there is a little bonus, I think, coming soon. I think I might have released that $75 bonus. I don't know if it's activated yet, so just hold up a little bit. It might be next week or the week after that is rewarded. But yeah, if you do sign up, you will get a little cheeky cash bonus with Spot, and that's worldwide. And OKX is fantastic, safest exchange in crypto. Craig, what's your takeaway from our chat with Nick today?
Yeah, just a good dude, man. I would love to have a beer off camera with him.
Yeah, same.
And shoot the shit proper. I think he's I think he's different. I was going to say I think he's different to what people think, but I think people kind of understand him a bit more now than what they used to. I think he's got a fucking great sense of humor. Yeah, great dude. I think very smart. Obviously, my shirt's mirrored. Obviously can identify trends. Strikes me as the kind of guy that if he was young enough would have been there for the .com bubble. Yeah. I think like me, him and I are similar age. We both missed it. We were just too young.
Yeah.
Interesting enough, I think we both recognize, and yourself and probably most people listening, that the .com is here now, except it's crypto. It's .com 2.0. Takeaways. Man, I just feel like everyone who's in the space longer than a few years tends to end up on the same road, man. Literally. And I feel like that road's Bitcoin, and it probably sounds a bit preachy for people that maybe have just jumped into this bull run and have been like Boy Scouts collecting altcoin badges like I did in 21, and probably like Craig, fuck up about Bitcoin. That's only going to 2x from here. We want 10x's.
Yeah.
But I think what I found, and this is what Nick kind of touched on, the easier way to riches, well, not the easier, the more likely way for me to become retired is to do it slow and steady than go for a Hail Mary 1000x play or a millionx play, because the chance of me hitting that's minimal, and the chance of me executing that play, as I found, because I was in Pepe sub 5 mil, I should be retired. But I'm not, because I didn't execute the trade. And so I'm probably going to need longer here than I wanted. But the longer I'm here, the more I realize that's the way it was always going to be. And to be honest, the way I was thinking to win wasn't going to work. It was an immature stance in trading. So I guess I thought I was a trader. I think what I took away from him was similar to him. I think long story short, Bitcoin's the road that I think most will travel, which is probably why you should probably keep a bag of it, because I sound like it's like religion, don't I? Like I kind of sound like everyone's going to end up there eventually, but I still feel like they will. Let's see. But that's probably my biggest takeaway is the longer you're here, the more you realize you need time in the saddle. And if you're going to have time in the saddle, the safest thing to purchase and hold is Bitcoin, man. From what I can tell.
And my thesis has really shifted this recently. Like, are you going to sell it all? Like, I don't know, Craig. Like, I put a post up last night. I might
keep a little bit on a ledger now.
Yeah, like I put a post up last night. I said on Twitter, like, bold take, BTC will never go below 100K again.
I saw that.
Unless there's a real bad black swan, like, I don't know. Like, genuinely think that it could stay above those levels, but we'll see.
That will be fucking crazy, dude. Yeah, you see, myself, I'm a bit more pessimistic.
Yeah, in the short term, you mean?
No, yeah. In the short term, not long term. Long term, it's that. So, to be honest, if your time frame's long enough, does it matter? It's probably not even worth. I agree, by the way, to that comment, Black Swan. I don't know about next year, but I think this is what I think is going to happen, right? We're going to have a bear market, and I think we're going to have a pretty severe bear market because everything's at all-time high. Gold, silver, stocks, it's all lined up at all-time high at the same time for the first time in Bitcoin's history. I think we're going to have a savage bear market, and I think the news is going to give us a black swan event to explain said pullback. That's what I think. I think the news I think there will be a black swan event. What that is, I don't know, but it'll be used to explain why everything fucking sucks. But But I think it's just cyclic. I think it's markets just marketing. And I think it doesn't fucking matter what reason it is. The reason is it's like the tides of the ocean. It comes in and out, in and out. It's like seasons, autumn, spring. You can't have summer without winter.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't even know if I answered your question there. I don't even know if you asked me a question, Greeny, actually.
No. It's just conversation, right? Like, and that's the beauty of this. I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat. Like, the bubble has to pop, surely, right? Or not? Like, at some point it'll pop, but it's just
I'm going to take profit, Greeny.
Yeah.
So
that's it. Like,
it's got to go down, right? Not because I sell, but because other people smarter than me with bags 1,000x bigger are going to at some point take profit into fiat. But
do these massive institutions don't take profit, do they?
I see ETF outflows.
ETF's different to, say, like MicroStrategy or these ones accumulating ETH. Like, surely those ones aren't looking just for a swing trade in the next year or 6 months.
I mean, if Bitcoin dumps to sub entry level for MicroStrategy, what happens to MicroStrategy?
Well, they go underwater, yeah. Well, what's his average though? It's like, is it 50? Is it 70?
It's higher. It's about 60 to 70, I think. So
yeah,
it's tiptoeing on. Like, I don't know, for me, that Ponzi that he's creating, and don't get me wrong, guys, I fucking love Michael Saylor.
Yeah.
But he's also a businessman and he's fucking smart and he's there to make a bucket load of money, which he has in Shell. But he's tippy-toeing on a Ponzi that is astronomically Enron looking to me. I wonder if he'll be blamed for the Black Swan event, bro. He's setting himself up as the Messiah, and often the Messiah's, the hero of the cycle. Is he going to be the villain? And I don't mean because he is a villain. I just mean the way markets move. Let's see, dude. I think it's going to be I'm excited to watch the movie and see what we're served up. I can't. I'm not looking forward to it in so many ways, but if you're my thoughts are, if you're cash rich going into that Black Swan, ye fucking ha. And I'm gonna try and buy when I feel sick, because I want a property up in the hills, Greeny, and it's going to cost current rate for me to buy that property be 4 million.
Oh my god.
I wanted at 2 million, Greeny. So I hope the whole property market eats shit. I hope everything dumps in 26, 27, so I can live my dream life. So,
well, Raul Paula really speaks about 2030, so maybe it doesn't happen in like the next couple years.
It could be, real estate I think could lag. Look, I'm no expert, bro. This is only my second cycle, so I'm so green in property and stuff like that. So anyone listening to me right now, do not invest based on what I just said about property. I don't even have the balls to sell, even though I think property is going to peak now to the next 3 years, and I think it's going to dump. I don't have the balls to swing trade my house. So even though I'm saying all this, I don't have the balls. But
can you? Okay, if the market
on a pop,
if the market, I want to talk about Nick's take on the cycle ending next year. Like, I thought that was quite late in my opinion, but what I want to ask is, would you be able to borrow more money now? Like, you'd be leveraging more now, but then compared to if the market does correct for a bit in terms of property, but then it might be over leveraged, right, at the point of time at a higher rate compared to what you'd be able to borrow if there is a bit more of a Black Swan event. Like, what would be a better decision from that sort of period?
Say that again, one more time.
Is it better to borrow money now while everything's hot, while your house is valued higher, but then you are leveraged more? Or
borrow against my house?
Yeah. Well, but take liquidity out, whatever, borrow against the house. Or is it better to keep paying it off until a certain point in time, and then if there is a bit of a crash/correction, then borrow out money or use the liquidity from
really good question. Myself, I think if I was to borrow against my property, I would have to be aware it's a ticking time bomb. My thesis.
Yeah.
And I think I'd have 3 years to get it back before the property market pulls back and I owe the bank money. Because I'm in but the thing is, I'm in a fortunate position. I'm up almost 3x on my house.
Yeah, exactly.
So when I talk like I do, the thing is, I'm safe-ish. So I guess I am biased. So maybe that sways my opinion. To answer your question, I don't want to borrow money out of my house. The main reason is because I don't want to over leverage myself and ever have to give this away. And my house for me isn't an investment; it's a place to put a roof over my son's head.
Big difference, hey? Yeah.
So I don't care if I make money on the house or not. What I care about is my wife and my son are safe.
See, that's like from my perspective, where we don't own a house, we're renting. Renting's going along. It's a very different conversation these days. And for me, I asked my wife the other day. I said, look, like, would you rather try and buy a house next year, or are you happy for like, which would mean that we would probably have to pay ourselves more in this financial year, which would pay more tax, or are you happy for a long-term play where it's like, okay, well, if we can drip feed business to us personally over like a 3, 4 year, 5 year period, then that'll be so much more tax efficient. However, it means that we'll be able to only buy a house probably in like, say, 5 years time. And she was like, yeah, I have no rush to really buy. Well, yeah, I mean, you can put it in a trust. I agree. But there's multiple ways you can do it. But yeah, her perspective was like, yeah, no, like, why? Like, there's no rush for us to buy a place.
I think you can wait. I mean, based on my thesis, what I just explained, personally, I think waiting's a good thing. The reason why I say that, I think in your situation, is because your ability to make money is quite good. I think time's on your side. You're also young. Whereas I'm a lot older than you. I've got a decade on you, so my investing has to be different, because you can fuck up 10 years longer than I can, which is quite a long time. You probably, I mean, there's 2 cycles within that, if not 3. So, I personally, not to give you advice, but I'd be renting and I'd be making as much money as I can, and waiting for a property pullback. Look, maybe property doesn't have as big a pullback as I'm theorizing, but does it matter for you? Does it matter? Like, I don't know. If I was in your situation now, I would probably rent with the hope that it eats shit. Because if it just
the problem with renting, right, in my opinion, is like we've just seen a rate cut, right? And mortgage goes down. However, my rent will never go down. Like, my rent will probably increase each year. And it, like, even though mortgage will go down or house will go down, right? So if, like, it's more of like hold on. Is it going to get to a point where it makes sense where mortgage repayments on a X amount of loan that you're looking to get is actually very comparable to the rent that you would pay? That is probably the question, right?
Very cool. Yeah. I agree. I get that. And it is very unlikely that your real estate agent rings you up and gives you the great news of your rent going down $50 a week. I never had that phone call. The only phone call I had when I was renting was it's going up.
Yeah, exactly. There's no way they ever drop.
Or the other annoying thing I used to hate about renting is the inspections and shit, right? I used to hate that, man. It's fucking annoying.
They come in and they judge stuff, and I'm like, bro, it was like this before we moved in, and they're telling me this. I'm like, come on, man, switch on. You have one job.
Yeah, one of the best things about owning my own home, man, is I only answer to myself. Well, I answer to my wife, to be honest. But I don't have to have inspectors, so that's nice. That's nice. I haven't explored the tax breaks that may be available. I should. I haven't even renegotiated my rate now that the rates have come down, which I will do shortly. Yeah, it's interesting. You and I are 2 completely different ends of the spectrum on this. Fuck, man. I just don't understand property enough to give advice on that. But I just feel like the price has got to cool off, bro. It's got to cool off. But how much it does, I don't know. And then if it cools down 20%, if everything else has cooled down 20%, then it's the same as now.
Exactly. And you won't even notice it. And there's some really good comments here from a person who's unnamed as well. It's like, keep one property, stack BTC. Well, like, that would be the goal. She says, I feel like Australia's real estate will go down too, but how when we have so much immigration compared to houses being built? Exactly that point. We've spoken about immigration previously.
I mean, now, Greenie, are you better, rather than buying a house, you better just to buy Bitcoin?
Yeah, literally. That's what I'm saying. Like, and like, I have this conversation with my dad, who's a builder, been in this industry.
Appreciates more.
All he's ever known is that houses go up, right? And he's been building since the 80s, I think it was.
No stamp duty.
Like, exactly. Like, you avoid all this, like the LMI if you can't afford the 20% deposit, like all this insurance, like blah, 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 blah.
You don't need insurance. House insurance, fuck, dude. I pay thousands a year on house insurance I've never used. It's about 30 grand now, man.
Wow, yeah. So I mean, maybe saying more liquid as Chad is saying, and stacking BTC, but then trading as well by being more liquid. Then you could really I could buy a house in cash maybe in 5-10 years time. Like that's the perspective I need to think about.
Also, I'm noticing now it looks like the government are going more and more after homeowners as far as wanting to milk us dry, dude. Like, I'm trying to think of what they were passing, but basically, the costs associated with owning is just becoming higher and higher. It's almost like they don't want us to own, Greeny. It's almost like they want us to rent.
So this point's interesting too. They also stopped negative gearing on more than one investment property, lowering first home owners deposit to 5% and extending those to 40 years. Dude, that is just like, if you're going and doing a 5% deposit on a 40-year, what are you doing? Seriously. Yeah. What are you doing?
Big chats here, man. People are going off about the property market.
Well, I mean, this is like our conversation the other day about the healthcare system, which Nick actually touched on as well in America. So it's interesting to see. But yeah, it's an interesting time. You can use BTC as collateral for a home loan in Australia. I don't know if you, not with a very big company. It is coming, Ria. It is coming. But not. I did look into it actually, but I don't believe it's. But also, I don't own enough BTC yet to probably loan against it at a competitive rate. I'm pretty sure it's like if you own, say, one BTC, you can only borrow like 20 or 30% or 40% max of that BTC. So it's like one BTC in Australia is what, 180K? So you're only borrowing 40K or maybe a little bit more.
At what interest rate?
Yeah, exactly. The interest rate is exorbitant compared to what a normal banking loan is. Yeah, it's like nearly double. Yeah. So
I think that the day will come where you can. I think without a doubt, and I think it has to happen. The institutions will, the lending, they're going to do it because they're going to have to do it.
Yeah.
So I think stacking Bitcoin, bro, if I was you, I'd be stacking fucking shitloads of it. And then when you can loan against your Bitcoin to get into property, I think you're going to do really well, man. Because especially if you understand, because the biggest risk then is if you're loaning against your Bitcoin, you don't want to go underwater and have to sell the Bitcoin to.
Yeah, and someone literally said that if you borrow against it, do it at the lows. Yeah, do it in the
bear market. I did that with Nexo. Last bull run, I borrowed against my Bitcoin, and it went really fucking well until May 21, and it dumped, and I fucking owed money. And that there's nothing worse than having to sell an asset at the low to repay a loan, bro. It fucking hurts so bad. My ego got absolutely shattered when I did that.
Yeah.
So definitely be careful about borrowing against. But if you're good or experienced, then I think you can use. I think it's a powerful tool, and it's going to be
and that's it. Like everyone has, like, there's some good chat here as well. Like Aussie boomers are the second wealthiest demographic on the planet. Yeah, they're probably behind Switzerland or something. Like, it's nuts. The boomers are nuts here in Australia. Garrett Jacks also says 5% LMI, paint, reno, bath and kitchen, refinance, upgrade, repeat. Yeah, if you have time, bro. I don't want to waste my body away when I can sit at a computer and make money. Like,
and I'm just so good at that.
It's like I can't be bothered to like think of designs, think of colors, like all that sort of stuff. But I do agree. I had a mate who flipped a house in like 6 months and made a shit ton from it, like 50, 100 grand from it. So you can do that, and it's tax free in Australia as well because you own the house. So yeah, that's a strategy potentially as well. You buy something shit and you do it up over a period of time. But yeah, interesting point. Boomers in cities. Yeah. Craig, a really good question. I want to talk about this. Is it time to buy a V1 CryptoPunk?
I can't because I saw them at 1 ETH and I'm fucked off. I can't do it. And when I saw that they've pumped, it actually pissed me off because it's one of those moments where when I was asking you, I was speaking to you about it. If you go back to our messages, I actually messaged you a lot about this. So I remember being fucking certain this was going to happen, and it irritates me that I was right, and it irritates me even more that I put my money into Azuki instead of this.
I sold that thing. Goodness.
It mainly irritates me because I felt it was going to actually. It doesn't fucking matter. I didn't do the trade, so it means fuck all. Me knowing and not doing is Anywho, good to see them pump. Fucking knew it. Damn it. Ouch. I can't buy it for 4 ETH though. I don't think.
I'm just trying to, dude, charting on OpenSea and stuff is horrific.
Bro, can someone just bring out a good chart for fucking NFTs using TradingView. Sometimes I think Magic Eden does mostly, doesn't it?
Yeah, but even this is dodgy. Like you can't go back. Like they launched way before 19th December 2022. So like, why is that not available?
Just someone, please. Like it's fucking annoying. And why are the big platforms like this? Why don't they have all the data?
Yeah. I bought mine here, Craig. Where was I bought my big one? My V2 about here. So it was low 2, high 1s. I think it was around the time I bought my V2 Punk. So yeah, so they're up basically double from when we would have discussed it. And ETH is up. Like, I mean, if you look at the USD chart, that's like you're up over 2x nearly basically. Yeah, so I mean, I still think these run. Like, I mean, the worry is that people will dump them because there's a high ownership, right? Like 22% unique owners. Like that means there's some whales. But yeah, I don't know. If I'm buying something like this, I'd be more inclined for an aesthetic. And if you start to look at aesthetics, then you're already paying like 0.5, 0.6 above the floor price.
I just feel too vulnerable now. Entering this, I feel like I could get dumped on so easy. I worry that it's a cope play to punks and a cope play. Just it just made it's
back below 3. I'd probably become interested.
Yeah, I just think if my thesis is the same,
someone just bought one now.
I'd buy this in the bear market next time.
Hopefully we get a bear market on these sort of assets. We might not. That's the query as well that we face. But Moonbird's holding up very well. They're at 3. Wait, no. Moonbirds are at 2.96, so they are back towards 3 ETH after going to 2.7 yesterday, even though Pudgies have pulled back to 13. I think Pudgies closer to 10. Very good buy if you see him. Right. I don't know if they go to 10, but yeah, I think that's a very good opportunity. But yeah, Moonbirds at 3. I like Nick's take 5 ETH minimum. I agree with that. I think they could potentially go higher. I bought 3 Badogos just before, lol.
Did you?
Yeah, well, he didn't say no to a token, so I was like, okay, I'm buying some. And they have pulled back a bit. So I was like, yeah, I'm happy to get in at low 3s. That's a fine entry by me. So I bought 3. I already have my OG one as well. So for all the people in the chat, one of the most, it's wild because I can't remember his name. He's doing another Badogo comp of like who's the most famous Badogo or whatever. Dude, I'm filthy. I'm not on there. There's like 40 people on there. And I'm like, are you serious? Like I repped this PFP for a year and a half, I think it was.
Yeah, that's pretty well known, that one.
So yeah, very well known Badogo there. But yeah, so I bought 3. So I mean, yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. Maybe if they pull back a little bit more, I'll buy some more and get to that 10 mark would be good. Yeah, it's an interesting play. What do you think about Nick's last? And this will be the last conversation I reckon we have today. But basically, what do you think about Nick's timing? He said mid next year for the top. That's quite late in my opinion.
Depends. I suppose it depends what he means by the top. Does he mean the top for Bitcoin or crypto market cap?
I think maybe the latter. I think crypto as a whole.
That's what I thought he meant as well. What did he say? Mid next year?
Yeah.
I think that, maybe, but that, maybe slightly earlier. No, I want to say earlier, bro. I want to say earlier, but I'm a bit of a coward. I'll be selling earlier than that, I think. Price dependent, chart dependent. But I think, bro, somewhere between Q1, Q2. So I guess more or less what he's saying, really, give or take.
This is wild, man. This is going to be a long bull market. Like if you've been around since the bear market in 23, it'd be a 2.5 year, 3. Like just for clarity, because a lot of people don't understand this. Like, hold on, let me see if I can.
I see people on the timeline saying, "Thank God the bull market's finally started."
Oh, bro.
I wonder where they've been, man. Didn't they like? There's been I can't even say how many cooks there's been in the last 2 years.
So many cooks. Like it was about 2 years ago that it was really starting to heat up. So, I mean, I classify this breakout here, whereas the higher low. Okay, and the higher high from this that high there. So basically where we are now is October, September 2023. So we're coming up on 2 years. If you look at, say, where that displacement is previously, here's the cycle here. So if we want to call it here, so it's October 20, where you would say that the bull cycle started, if you really want to classify the same thing. So it only lasted for 400 days, right?
Yep.
In the same context, if we look at, say, this high here, okay, across to there, this is on the monthly chart. So again, preferencing high time frames. And you take how long that is already. Like we've already been up here for 670 days. Like that is wild compared to last cycle. Compared to last cycle. But again,
bull runs.
Yeah, I think COVID really ruined us because we did reject and FTX and stuff here. Like we reject this could have been the pump. but this is when we started, like FTX collapsed, Luna collapsed, all that stuff happened here. Then COVID happened. So it really reset here. And it was a very prolonged bear cycle. It was 1,000 days before we went up, right? Whereas here, we only were below this level for 500 days. So like the fact that we are pushing up towards, another year, we're displacing the 4-year cycle. And I know Tyler and Mando asked me that question. They're like, "Oh, are you a believer in the 4-year cycle?" And I say yes until I'm proven different. And I maybe will be proven different this cycle where BTC and stuff does last. So I mean, if you go back and have a look again at time, like, okay, using the same analysis back in my first cycle in 2017. Okay, if you draw this across and you work out, okay, well, where was the high? The high is here. Okay, we broke out here in, when was that? April 2017. Okay, where was the high? We lasted 244 days. So we've gone like 240 days, 400 days. Now it's 600 days. The bull cycles are lasting longer.
That's fucking terrifying, eh? Imagine not having taken any profit at the moment.
I know.
Yeah,
I mean,
Greeny, when if people haven't taken profit,
and I'm very tempted to plow another 50 grand in to crypto and just have it in cash and only buy if we see a greater pullback on, say, ETH, on BTC, Hyperliquid, Sol, Sui. Outside that, I'm very happy with the allocation now. I think it's a good time to still, like, as we said at the start of the show, like I bought a bit of BTC last night at 117. And I'll probably keep DCing in daily, actually, at this point in time.
Hey, quick question, Greeny. Quick question.
That's my thoughts. Go.
This cycle, do you think we're going to see a double top? Or so basically we see a pump, say, come into Q4, savage-ish pullback, and a second Bitcoin pump into Q1, Q2? Or do we just grind upwards, not much entry-wise, little minor pullbacks, maybe 10%, and then boff, blow off top. Just frost.
That's a very hard question.
Yeah. What's your gut? So not even on technical analysis per se.
Yeah,
you can do that if you want, but
probably the latter. I lean towards just a steady grind. Like you can, but the amount of interest here, like this, the only reason we dipped so hard here was because of the tariff war, right? And if you look at all assets, and this is just S&P 500. Like it dipped very hard as well during that period of time. So it wasn't crypto that was the worst scenario. So I think a steady grind up with shallow pullbacks is naturally what's going to happen for the next 6 to 9 months, probably. I agree. Dude, maybe mid. I mean, GGs if we go to mid next year. I'm a happy man. Like I love this industry.
Let it go forever. Let's just go forever.
If we go till mid next year, I will definitely take a month off. I will need to step away. I will need to just like
I'll be shattered.
Like I'm already starting to not feel overworked, but like just I'm so flat out.
Everyone who's been locked in since the start of, say, the bull run, which we think's 23, if you've been locked in since then, you're tired. If you're not tired, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah,
I think, or maybe you're doing it right, and I need to learn from you. But yeah, I need a holiday, but I'm not taking one until I execute this trade, Greeny.
No, same. I'm not. Yeah, and look, I'll always like we're going to trade GTG. We're going to trade into the bear cycle. There's no doubt about it. Like there's just too many.
The fun happens.
There's a lot of good opportunities still in a bear cycle. Matic went and did a 4x in the bear cycle. We found we found Radium at 20 cents. Like bear cycle has nearly the best opportunities of a cycle if you can do what Nick said and hold over a multi-year time frame. But yeah, man, it'll be good to just like know that I'm not missing something by stepping away for a couple of weeks or something.
Right. I reckon I want to take like a full month on an island, like go to like, not necessarily these places, but like a Bali or a Thailand or even like Airlie or go somewhere up north.
Yeah.
And just
in the winter, mate. In the winter too, when it's cold down here. We're just going to Asia somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. And just lie in the sun with an umbrella drink in my hand, in a hammock, laughing about how good that was, jumping on Twitter to shit post a little bit, but not look at a fucking chart.
Yeah.
Or just look for fun for Bitcoin out of morbid curiosity, sipping drinks, eating good food, just listening to music, and become a hippie for a little bit, and then return with the beard in the beard market.
That's it. Like, yeah. And then have that reset that everybody needs to sustain physical and mental health. Exactly. And then come back with that fire in your belly once again, because we're not going to retire this cycle. We've already said that. Hopefully next cycle we can retire. Hopefully that is the goal. That is the goal.
I think I worked it out. I'll need one more or two more, depending. It really depends on how good the next one is.
Yeah.
Just before we go, Greenie, I won't
Yeah.
even. This is not a big question. It could be a big question. Do you think, since this is the bull run of bull runs, that the next bull run could be a bit lackluster?
I was literally about to talk about this as well. It's
my only
regulation, governments, as Nick said, all these institutions, etc. The fact that normies retail hasn't really caught on to this yet means that, in my opinion, it'll be the majors that continue to see success. And you'll just have to do what we've done this cycle so successfully, Craig, is trade trends. Yeah. And as Nick said, like, and shout out to him for saying that he has followed my trades for a while, but like, I find confidence, and I know I am good at establishing early trends. Like, that is something that I've done very well.
We've both done it so many times, so I agree.
Exactly.
And I'm gonna toot our horn. I think you and I are some of the best in crypto Twitter at identifying trends, and I need to do this. The only reason I haven't done it is the list is so fucking long. It's taking me ages to do. Is go through trend by trend week off, and I did it the other day, and there's a lot. There's a lot. So congratulations to us for one moment.
And anyone who's been following us for a long time. And shout out to there's a lot of people who I know have been part of the GTG journey since it's started in 23. I know there's a lot of people. I'll let you put a tweet up this morning saying, let me find it. Basically saying, like, here, where is it? People always call out like paid groups and shit, but basically here it is.
I saw the tweet from the person you commented about paid tweets, and you don't need to.
This is my thoughts, right? Pay group this, pay group that. Legend, if you followed my free alpha here, you'd be sipping on margaritas on a beach already. Like, genuinely, I literally, and then the tweet after this, ready? Look at this. KTA up 85% in what? 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like, I'm not here to gloat, but I'm just saying, like, establishing trends is something that I've had to learn the hard way over a 7-year journey. Okay, I failed. I made mistakes. I lost a shit ton of money over the past 7 years. But then the last 2 years, I've locked the fuck in and executed on things that I failed to do in the past. And I think there's me plus so many people like that in GTG, yourself very much included in that conversation. And it gives me comfort. It makes me have so much confidence that we know that we are all collaboratively just discussing trends, understanding where we are, and knowing that we can work together to achieve the financial freedom that we all seek from this space. So yeah, to answer your question in a long colluded way, yeah, I think next cycle will be different. I really do. I think the majors will continue to run like we've seen this cycle, and the majority of the slop will just keep slopping and not really bounce back. And you got to learn to trade the trends.
And possibly bullish for Bitcoin over time, isn't
correct.
it?
And Ethereum.
Yeah, agreed. That the slop and there's so much slop, like altcoins. I mean, particularly, and mean same thing really.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that over time might melt away, and we might just see the real winners giga win. So Bitcoin giga win. It could be Ethereum giga win, and the chains that, I don't know, man, like a Litecoin or that fizzle away, VeChain. I don't know, man. Like, what are they? Matic, Polygon.
Yeah, AVAX, even AVAX is struggling, right? Like, dominating utility, but just the token not really doing anything.
Because when you really break it down, and I'm no genius, when you look at the chains, and who did I hear the other day talk about this? They were saying, look, all of it really ends up doing the same thing, and it's probably eventually they're all going to get to the same speeds. Not Bitcoin, I don't mean, that's a different conversation. But the altcoins are just repackaged mostly of the same shit.
Yeah.
It's a hamburger, but a different brand, Burger King and then McDonald's. So
yeah,
I wonder, I just think it just makes me want to own more Bitcoin, bro.
Well, yeah. And then, but like, hopefully we can swing trade it. I think there's a portion that I just need to, I'm back towards, like, I have been steadily accruing. I'm back towards about 0.25 of a BTC. So that's cool.
Nice.
But that's including my ordinals, which have been dumping a little bit. So.
Hey, motherfuckers.
BTC puppets back below 0.04, the dirty dogs. So
come on, guys, buy some puppets and support.
Come on, guys. No monkeys. Yeah, dude, I should have sold my no monkey 0.08. I thought they might go to 0.1, but they didn't quite get there. But I still think those are a good hedge. You just got to play it right. When it does pump, look to exit. maybe look to rebuy those sorts of things. If
I
that's
think you'll find, Greeny, I think if I'm going to predict some future stuff, wait for Bitcoin to hit 127, 137 around there. And then I think we might see ordinals have a little cheeky run. But I think we need to see Bitcoin.
Correct.
I've said this in 77K. I think we have to see Bitcoin stretch its legs a little bit. Like a proper, I think we need to see a God candle.
Yeah.
And then I think we're going to see shit run.
Yeah.
I think people at the moment at these levels are a little bit gun shy, including myself, because Bitcoin at 118 is not a bad buy zone where we are now. But when it was at 100, anywhere between here and 122, I'm like, oh, could come down. So I think ordinals, people are probably like, but I think it runs to 137. People take profit. I think you're going to see those go. So I think you've got time, but it's the runway shrinking. Same with me. I'm underwater too. I got in at 0.1. So
yeah,
I'm worse than you. So I've got to hope it doubles from here before I'm still underwater if it does. But yeah, I think there's hope for ordinals, guys. For the ordinals people out there, I still hold 2 puppets, and I intend to sell them at about 0.24, 0.25 if I can around there.
Love that. All right, well, let's plug, last plug, obviously, before Craig reads the last little sponsorship partnership. But basically, yeah, guys, we've created a link tree to make it super easy for you guys to follow all of our sort of like signups, bonuses, exclusives, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, go follow GC Crypto TV on X. And then if you want to watch the show every week, every day, go to GC Crypto on Kick, and you can sub there or follow us there. And that's where you can catch all of our live streams. Rather than trying to keep up with our socials on our own personal pages. But basically, everything's here. So if you want to clip our content and get paid for it, OKX, I'm on a front run the $75, so just stay patient on that. But basically, sign up to OKX, get a free $75. Watch on Kick. The Kick link is there. And then obviously, if you were keen to join GTG, you can go to that link tree as well, guys. But yeah, basically, keep winning with us. And that's a way that you can basically do what we're doing in this space as well. But yeah, go click follow there. We're nearly at 1,000 followers. Let's go, chat. We want 1,000. I want 1,000 by the end of August. 1,000 by the end of August. So we're doing well. And then the beautiful thing as well is that we can watch all the replays here, any clips as well. Shout out to everyone who's been clipping our content. Been absolutely loving it. So yeah, Craig, over to you, mate. Great show. Shout out to Nick for jumping on. Lots of alpha there, guys, from a very different perspective, which I love getting people on. And hopefully we'll have some amazing guests again coming in the future months as well. It's exciting time for GC Crypto. Craig, over to you, mate. Over to you.
All right. A few thank yous. Of course, thank you to OKX Australia for partnering with our platform and helping to keep the lights on for Greeny and myself. If you are looking to spot trade, they're a nice, simple, easy platform to use, whether you're new or old to trading. There'll be something there for you to use. Links in the description as per normal. Any questions, fire them through to Greeny and myself. Obviously, there is bonus crypto there if you sign up, so make sure to check that out. And guys, as usual, biggest thanks to our viewers for tuning in. If it wasn't for you guys watching, we'd be fucking bored. So thank you very much. Happy Friday. Happy Thursday to America. Great week, Greeny. Thank you very much for joining me this week. And we'll be back next week. Hopefully we can confirm some guests over the coming days. I'm waiting for some confirmations. And also, we've been teasing partners, another partner, and hopefully, Greeny, this weekend, we can actually formally announce it, because I know you and I are both fucking itching to announce. We just got to get the final green light. So, guys,
we've got formalities, mate. The formalities and the limitations, let's call it.
Yeah. So once those are done, guys, we got some fucking cool shit coming. So hang in there, keep watching us, and look, a pleasure to chat to you guys today. And also, guys, thanks for all the comments. That was outrageous. I can't even keep up with them. So, guys, I saw a comment yesterday saying I didn't reply to everyone in the comment section. That was it's tricky, guys. I do try.
1,600 people live. We have a lot of comments. We do appreciate your comments. We try our best. We do.
And the trickiest part is there's actually comments on different platforms that I've got to watch.
Yeah, literally.
So I'm going like cross-eyed here but I promise you, I read them all and I try to get back to them all. But apologies if I don't. And once again, massive shout out for the tips we get. That does not go unnoticed. So thank you very much. And there we go. That was a long-winded way of saying thank you. But Greeny, thanks for putting this show together, running a great show, and can't wait to get back on Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for you Americans. We'll front run the market.
Yeah, big week ahead, I reckon. Lots of news happening. So as always, thanks, chat. Thanks, Craig. Have a lovely weekend, everyone. And we'll see you on Sunday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard or 9 a.m. if you're here in Australia. See you later.